Hi, I'm Jonathan Knight, Vice President for Enterprise here at the University of Bath. And I'm sitting here today in our Enterprise lab to have a conversation with Helen Liang. Helen is a doctoral graduate of the university and founder of the company LabCycle. Helen, thanks so much for joining me today.
No problem.
Can you tell me something about LabCycle? What is it and what does it do?
Yeah. So LabCycle is a startup company specialized in the decontamination and recycling of single-use plastic waste from the research and healthcare sector and create a circular economy for laboratory consumables. So there's an enormous amount of single-use plastic waste generated in the research and healthcare sector. Globally, more than 5.5 million tons of this plastic is generated in the biomedical sector. And if you take in other sectors into account, the number which will be a few times bigger. And at the moment, all of these laboratory or medical consumables are sent to landfills or incineration after only one use because they are considered as hazardous waste, and there's no know-how or scalable technology in the waste management industry to recycle and decontaminate this waste. And that's why LabCycle came in to develop the solution for plastic decontamination and recycling. And we take the high-grade recycled plastic pellets after the decontamination process and turn it into lab-grade or medical-grade consumables and circulate it back to the research and healthcare sectors.
So you were a doctoral student. You were doing your doctorate in sustainable chemistry.
Yeah.
Now you've ended up running a business. I mean, that's a really big change. Did you always expect when you started your doctoral student that you would be an entrepreneur, or how did you make that change from thinking, I'm a doctoral student, I need to do my thesis research, to here's a major problem which I have the ability to tackle?
Yeah, so I was always quite interested in entrepreneurship and business, but I didn't know what kind of business I would like to work on, so I didn't actually have an idea when I was doing a PhD. But because I was interested, so I took part in a lot of training courses about commercialization of technology or startup and entrepreneurship. And during this process, I came across a program organized by the Innovation Center or the Set Square called 3-Day Startup, where you met a group of like-minded people and present your idea with them and see whether you can develop this further into a business idea. So before that, I was always quite conscious about the laboratory plastics waste problem, but I didn't actually think of turning it into a business until the point when I was in the 3-Day Startup program and work on the business idea with my team for 3 days and come up with a business model for this problem. And that's the point when I think, oh, actually, this can be a business case. And after that, I participate in several training activities organized by the university, as well as the Dragon's Den competition organized by the Innovation Center, where you present your idea for experienced business people and got their validation and got funding as well. That's the turning point where I think, yes, this is something that I can really do as a business.
I know that in the 3-Day Startup you work with other people.
Yeah.
So obviously when you were making that transition, well, when I think of LabCycle, I just think of you. But there must have been other people who had input into your ideas at that early stage.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anybody who you'd particularly identify, not necessarily by name, but the kind of input that you got which helped you take the next step?
Yeah, so the mentorship from the Set Square, as well as from the Institute of Sustainability, are really helpful. So they were the people who have true input in the business model and help us to turn it into a circular business model. And also the technical team from the Faculty of Science has been really, really helpful by helping us with all the pilots we had with the university. Okay,
that's interesting. And so that mentoring scheme, did you use the kind of standard mentoring search and then you identified somebody who you could talk to? Was that how it worked?
So the mentorship is offered by speed dating activity from the Set Square. So there were quite a few business mentors from different business background, and you talk to them for 5 to 10 minutes during that evening, and then basically you pick the mentor that you want to work with, and the mentor pick the team or the business idea that want to work with, and set square the set square match the two people together.
Go on.
Yeah. So the mentorship from the Institute of Sustainability was because I was a part of the center.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing center with a lot of great idea on sustainability, and they're keen on circular economy as well. So they have a lot of input on helping us to develop this further.
So with all that progress you've made, you've obviously relied on resources, and you've mentioned the mentoring which you've had, but you've also had a requirement for funding.
Yeah.
So where has funding come from?
Yeah. So we have a few steps in acquiring funding. So initially it came from the university student enterprise, like Dragon's Den competition, the Innovation Award, and the Santander Universities Fund. And after that, we got awards from the Royal Academy of Engineering. And after that, it was the investment round, which was our pre-seed investment round at the end of 2022. And in the meantime, we secured Innovate UK funding, as well as a SBRI grant.
So you know, Helen, that the university wants to see its research go further and make an impact on society, and you're one of those that are actually taking that challenge up. And I wonder if you'd have any observations about the spirit within the university that has pushed you in that direction, and the level of support which you found for your development of your ideas within the university community.
Yeah. I feel like the spirit in the university to commercialize research and people's passion about entrepreneurship is very high, and that's actually one of the key inspiration which pushed me towards the direction of starting my business. So when I was in my PhD, I was actually the entrepreneurship champion of our Marie Curie cohort, and I was organizing workshop for people in my cohort, where I invited researchers or maybe professors in the university who commercialized their research or started their own business to give a talk to people. And they were all really supported to give the talk and share their experience. So that kind of vibe is really positive.
And could you tell us anything more about your interaction with with people in the Innovation Centre and Set Squared? I mean, do you go down to the Innovation Centre? Do you set foot inside it sometimes?
Yes. So as a part of our Innovation Awards, we got the membership from Set Square. So we got the mentorship and also a lot of service from the Innovation Centre to help with our business journey. And all the networking activities and masterclass organized by them were amazing, such as grant writing, business plan development, and sustainability masterclass, and they're really useful skills to have.
And what about intellectual property? Do you have any intellectual property within your business?
Yes, we got our trademark and patents.
Okay, and was that done within the university, or was that done after you founded the company?
After we founded the company.
Okay, and so who supported you in doing that and in getting that recognised?
So in terms of recognizing what IP we have in the company, we learned that from the masterclass organized by Set Square. And in terms of helping us to put it on paper, is a part of the Innovate UK grant. So
I see.
Yes, after the Innovate UK grant, we submit a patent application for our technology.
The world's in a difficult place at the moment, and when you read the news, it's full of pessimism. But to really achieve things like the achievements which you're striving for, you need to have a sense of positivism and optimism. And I wonder what it is that makes you feel optimistic about the future. Yeah.
So there are two causes of optimism when we were running the business. The first one was the passion and enthusiasm from our users and customers. Like people who work in the lab, in the research and healthcare sector, are really keen to do something differently and to recycle the single-use plastic consumable. And the second one is that we understand we are doing something which is tackling the real bottleneck in these sectors to make them more sustainable. And we understand that what LabCycle is doing will make a real difference.
Thanks very much for taking the time to talk to me today, Helen, and I understand so much more about your business than I did previously. So very best wishes and thanks again.
Thank you.